Anyways, as I was saying, I think all the boyfriends hate
Yeah, boyfriend.
that's coming through is because a lot of people don't see themselves as any of the 4 characters in the story.
This is definitely I think I agree with you, but I think it's because they see themselves as certain characters more than others.
Actually, no, never mind. I regret my thesis. It's more, I think people really hate woo cute shit.
Oh, well, yeah, they definitely hate that. God, am I?
No, you're fine. You're
Okay,
fine.
okay.
Trust me. It sounds it looks small, but it looks fine later on. Okay.
Gotcha.
So anyway, oh wait a minute. So someone. I said someone. Oh man, they're really impatient.
Wow.
Oh wait, one moment. Let me open the door.
Okay, let me open the door. Walk.
Walk. Great. Oh.
Oh my God, is that
a guest?
We have a guest.
Well, I assume you're here for book club. Come right this way. Here, one second. We got some tea. I'm gonna take a sip of the tea.
Oh yeah.
Here.
Oh yeah. Also. Let me
You should take a sip of the tea too.
Okay, there we go.
There we go. Perfect. Hopefully you had a sip of your tea too. Go sit down. Sit.
Yeah, sit.
Yeah, sit. Come on, sit. Okay,
Come on, sit.
here. Sit. Yeah, sit. Come on, sit. Sit. Come on. Okay, sweet.
So, welcome to the book club. Welcome to the Liquid Shit Book Club.
Even though I started the bit, I can't keep going with it.
You gotta keep going with it.
Okay, sorry. Hello! Never mind. This podcast contains spoilers for Homestuck podcast. I'm changing that. Okay, one second. Let's start from the top. Let's start from the top again.
Starting from the top? Okay.
So, anyways, as I was saying, wait.
Wait, who's that? Hello, everyone. Welcome to This Podcast Contains Spoilers for Homestuck. I'm some girl.
I'm Ishmael Fisher.
And today we are doing the long-requested 3-episode delayed, and yes, we're only on episode 4, episode about Detective Pony.
She did that all on her own. I'm so proud of her.
I did it! Give me $2 billion.
She talks now, not just me.
Now, this is what I like to call this podcast contains spoilers for Home Switched, since now I'm talking.
Oh shit! Oh god! God! I made a mistake.
That's right. I made it into an A. Just cut that out. Actually, I don't want.
Well, when we do the when we do the AU's 101 lecture, you can. I'll let you go nuts.
Okay, but yeah,
and you're gonna. By the way, we're both we're gonna do the lectures. When we do the lectures about Homestuck and other stuff, we need to dress the part.
What do you mean dress the part? Am I going to get my e-girl outfit? Which I do
And
have.
why aren't you in your uniform? No, I'm just saying it's just like we're going to have to dress up like either professors or in Homestuck cosplay. One or the other. Ideally both. So look forward to that. That'll probably happen around like, I don't know, December or some shit. Yeah. Anyways, let's get to what's really important right now. Detective Pony. And I like that you said highly requested. I think the highly requested has been both of us being like, oh, we should totally do Detective Pony.
But if I say it's highly requested, then people will think, oh yeah. But actually, they won't probably. I don't know how marketing works.
Yeah, beep. Yeah, our we need to make it smaller. I think last time we said 14 viewers. We need to like make it a smaller amount each time. Our 2 viewers.
No, don't lowball that quickly. Now we can't go any more farther. Now our -2 viewers.
Our -2 viewers. 2 people that anti-watched this video.
Got their time back.
The antithesis of watching our video.
Yeah.
The pharmacos of watching our video.
Don't start already. You can't start already. Start, of course, being the foam meme of the graph meme.
Okay, let's talk about what's really important. How actually? Here's a question: how did you come to Detective Pony?
Well, the real question is, how did you come to it? I came to it because you showed me it and said, look, it's funny at first. And then I said, wow, that's cool. And we watched it with our parents. Only episode 1 though.
We watched episode, yeah. We've been trying to convince our mom to read Homestuck for a minute now. Just because we want to see where she stops reading.
I say she stops reading around Act 5, Act 1. I think when she gets
She's not getting that far. She's dropping
Damn.
at intermission.
Oh, I forgot about intermission.
Our
Yeah,
mom-
she'll totally drop
Our
intermission.
mom would not like intermission. But either way, I found out about it because of Naked Bee. Because somebody in a Homestuck server was like, "Oh my God, somebody made a film adaptation of Detective Pony," and I'm like, "What?
Word?
I was like, "What the hell is Detective Pony?" And then I watched it, and it has Beethoven's Turkish March, and I was like, "Did some mad motherfucker actually make Detective Pony into a book? That's so funny."
Well, I think we both already knew about the original Detective Pony. Of course, the original one being within Homestuck as a dumb gag gift.
Yeah, we just thought it was some, we were like, "Oh, that's a funny bit." This is like, it set up Dirk's character for us.
Yeah.
I think at this point, I only read through Homestuck once as well. I've now done it like 3-ish times.
I still only read through it once, although I've flipped through it a good amount of time, but I don't think that counts.
Yeah, but I've flipped through it a couple of times. I've gotten up to like S Cascade and then I dropped it.
Yeah.
Got up to S Cascade, then I freaked it.
No, I remember the first time I read through it, you told me to, when you get to S Cascade, just drop it and imagine what happens next.
Exactly. Anyways, so I remember I watched episode 1 and I was like, yeah, that's about what I expected. And then, I forget exactly what's the line at the end of, there was like that one paragraph that was like, "The wind, it calls out, do you hear it, Pam?" And stuff like that. I was like, okay, yeah, no, that fits their character. He's very verbose, over the top kind of guy. And then I was like, oh, this is funny. And then I watched episode 2. And I was like, oh yeah, this is still, weird and out there. And then I watched episode 3 and I was like, okay, I need to dedicate
some
time to this.
Yeah.
And I remember I finished it and I immediately said, you need to see this.
Yeah. Just like Homestuck, then I read it, and now we can't stop talking about it.
I was about to say, and that was like, I don't know, it was a while ago. Pretty far back. I don't know the exact date.
Maybe even, was it in 2020 even?
Well, it have to have been after we finished. We finished reading Homestuck. You finished around 2020. Like you finished like around spring. Whatever, dates don't matter right now. What matters is that I didn't know that Sonnet Stuck did this in 2014. She's about to sneeze. Ooh, she's silent about it, though.
I can hold my sneezes in.
Anyway, yeah, so I found out about this way late. I didn't know anything about Sonnet Stuck. Didn't know that Sonnet Stuck was named Sonnet Stuck because they actually made sonnets about Homestuck.
Yeah.
Didn't know, I didn't know anything. I was still such a fandom baby at the time. Still am a fandom baby, to be honest. And yeah, I was just blown away because fundamentally Detective Pony has everything I want in Homestuck fan fiction. That's kind of a lot. I do like a lot of fluff. I like Dave Cat smut fic number 50 or whatever. I much prefer a anyone Solix smut fic than anything else, but that's just me.
What, anybody? You want anybody?
Besides Fairy.
Much better.
Dribble, shoot!
Or Incandescence.
Dribble, shoot! No, not that one either. Anyways, getting back to what's important. So it's like, I'm fine with the smut fics, but it almost felt like Detective Pony was made just for me. In many ways. Like, they're like, I made like a list. I stopped cataloging around chapter 8. But it was like references in Detective Pony: Giles Deleuze, Edgar Allan Poe, Mark Dan Lewinsky, Lenin, Plato, Nero, Walter Benjamin, Friedrich Nietzsche, Beethoven, Alexander Pushkin, Alexander Friedman, Isaac Newton, Dostoevsky, Immanuel Kant, Martin Luther, I can't pronounce his name right. Freud, Jung, Jeanette, Jaspers. Like, I was like, oh, dude, like, I was like, like the philosophy nerd in me was like losing my mind because it was very directly talking about, it was talking about the shit that I'm going to school for. So I was like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah, especially a younger you who was way more obsessed with philosophy, if you ask me.
I've definitely spread my love across music and cooking and a bunch of other things. Even though I have someone that cooks for me now. But yeah, no, it was just I just remember like watching it and I was like, oh my god, this is so cool.
Yeah.
And like, and not to mention, Naked Bee did an incredible job with the text, like made it into this, like with the visuals, just made it absolutely sing and come to life. And only really recently have I actually sat down and read it. It's good. So I'm trying to say all this stuff without spoiling it, just in case. Even though this podcast it does tell you what like what will be spoiled within it. If you need somebody to convince you to read Detective Pony, I have Naked Bee's version and I have the actual Archive of Your Own Detective Pony, the actual written out form in the description, and I highly recommend you read or watch it, ideally both, before you watch this. Okay, that being said, I don't really have a lot to say. Or at the very least...
Well, shit, dude. We have to go up an hour 30. Most of the time already spent is done on dumb bits where we go, oh my god.
We try to do this inviting you to book club bit like 5 times, but it's getting edited out because it was never funny.
Yeah.
Except for me.
Well, shit. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. Anyways, when I say I don't have a lot to say, I do have a lot. I have like about I have about 2 pages filled with notes. Even then, I don't feel like it's really that much.
To be fair, one of those notes is me thinking too hard and then just the letter S.
Well, there's this one thing when he talks about Tesla, and he says, that's all we are. We're just pigeons and leeches.
What about that
and
scene?
Stuff like that. Both of those, like, rubbing a dead pigeon on yourself and also, like, putting leeches on your body were both considered ways of curing the Black Plague.
Huh.
But then I was like, wait a minute. The plague comes up nowhere else in this story.
Yeah. Maybe if it was crows or seagulls, then... Nah, but that would probably just be a reference to both the Striders being related to birds in some sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is why that in the visual movie, when Dirk starts taking over the narrative again around episode 10-ish, seagulls start showing up since that's his affiliated bird.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You watched Naked Bee's cut. Yep. I read it. When I say I don't really have a lot to say about Detective Pony, it's not because it doesn't strike all the pleasure senses in my brain. It's just I still feel like I don't understand a lot of it.
Same, for sure. There's a thing in the visual one, especially, where I think on episode 4 or 5, the one with the fire.
I think that's 3, but yeah, go on.
3, yeah. There's an ad for Subway. Pops up for about 10 to 20 seconds, and then disappears. Why and what is that supposed to be meaning is something I do not know. Is it a reference to the book? Does this ad for Subway ever show up in the book?
I am now showing her the ad within the book. It was in chapter 4. You were right the first time.
Oh.
I swear it was this big, Anna said, indicating the size with her hands. A delicious foot-long Subway sandwich for only $5. What's the catch? Mr. Hartley asked. Can you only get a limited selection of vegetables? Nope, Anna said with a big grin.
Huh.
Well, and this gets to one of the things I can talk about in Detective Pony.
Oh, God,
which,
damn it.
What?
Any regular club soda for $4.99, 3 regular footlongs for $13. $4.13.
Hey! I didn't even recognize that.
I got an eye for 4.13s now. Hell, even if I look at a 3.14, I always fucking get it mixed up and shit.
That pie. Anyways, one of the biggest things in Detective Pony, at the very least that I noticed, was talks of irony.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been able to really find too many philosophical accounts of irony. Especially none from the 21st century. I know Nietzsche wrote a little bit about it, but I haven't read that yet. And honestly, I feel like Homestuck's the only like piece of art that really talks about irony in depth.
Yeah.
In an interesting way. I know Like, I mean, I don't want to count like fucking like questionable content.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jeff. um, but yeah, it was just one of those things that I thought was so interesting because Dirk's idea of irony is very different from Dave's definition of irony.
Yeah.
Because Dave's definition of irony just seems to kind of fall into like absurdity. Enjoying things that nobody else could ever enjoy. And that's what makes it enjoyable. That's what irony is to him. It's the absurd.
Yeah.
In that way. But Dirk has a very different relationship to it. Even if he was raised on the definition of irony that Dave in the beta timeline was thinking. Because, Dave in that timeline was actually able to successfully publicate his works, in particular the Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff movie.
Which then the Condescent, of course, releases an HD version that takes away all the crustiness, which is devilish, to say the least. Also the funniest goddamn fact in Homestuck, in my opinion.
Yes, very good. But what I find so interesting is that Dirk views... I forget the exact line, and in fact, editor Ishmael might just put in the exact line later, but it's something along the lines of irony can only truly be done within sincerity, and the highest form of irony must be complete and utter sincerity. It's that you mean it, but what you mean isn't the same as something that is unironic. I'll put in the actual quote here.
Yeah, sure.
I got it kind of close, but here's the exact quote from page 4258. The upper echelons of irony should always include measures of sincerity, and if the satirical practice is executed faithfully, it will achieve something bona fide within its own right regardless. Through an intense commitment bordering on religious devotion to the absolutely inane, absurd, or just plain fucking stupid, a very different kind of sincerity begins to materialize. One of reverence to the ridiculous. You begin to, quote-unquote, mean it. But what exactly it is you mean is never quite what appears on the surface, and is utterly inaccessible to obtuse and literal minds. What you, quote-unquote, mean it, then, becomes inseparable from the joke. An additional rich strata of humor may be stripped aggressively from the irreconcilable truth.
But there's a specific section within Detective Pony where Dirk basically, it's before anywhere near the kind of like meta, like the real meta bullshit. I think it's like right after the Dante section.
Gotcha.
Where Dirk talks directly to Jane. And Dirk's like, wow, this is kind of a wacky, crazy story. Like
Yeah.
Where, he's like, I'm being ironic, right? Like, with all this purple prose and talks about cat shit and stuff like that. It's like, I would never, unironically do any of this. Nor would I ever unironically make something this obtuse and heady. Clearly, this is a work of irony, and it's a work of irony that I am showing sincerity in by pointing out that I'm being ironic. But then through the process of pointing it out, he then goes on this tirade about Willy Wonka, and he talks more about how irony is itself irony is then a pharmacon in and of itself that is being a further dilution of a step away from the truth of a statement.
Yeah.
And he's saying that through my failed sincerity, I am becoming even more ironic. And that pointing out my failed sincerity is me being sincere about my irony. And it's just like one of those passages where I'm like, fuck me, I need to where I'm like, fuck me, I need to read this 5 more times. And I've already read it 3 times.
I believe I've watched it about twice now.
Yeah, I watched it once, read it twice. Definitely need to watch it more though, because it's so good.
It really is good.
So yeah, I think that's such a fascinating take on irony in that section because it's again, I think irony has to be done with intentionality.
Indeed, a lot of times it does. I think Dave legitimately does hold something with Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff, something sincere and not just purely ironic.
Yeah, Dave's cool website is definitely completely ironic. But something like Sweet Bro and Hell Jeff feels oddly genuine, and I don't know. We could go into like the Stairs comic
As something that may or may not be Dave talking about his abuse with the whole
yeah, I'm a useless. Can't wait to be a useless piece of shit. Oh fuck, I'm falling down these stairs, and then I told you, you would fall down these stairs. I warned you, bro. And then a couple 100 pages later, we see him literally falling down the stairs
due to bro stabbing? No, hitting him down the stairs.
Yeah, throwing him down the stairs.
That's
Yeah. And other stuff like that. Now, what does the bro, where are your pants comic have to do with this? I don't fucking know.
It could legitimately be something a bit worse, but how I like to think of it in certain ways is that some of the comics also are Dave's adolescent time powers, aka and or slash being in contact with Little Cal, someone who has seen all of Paradox Space.
Doodly firearms.
Arms. Mainly just that one. That's the main one.
Are you next? Are you next? Yeah, that one's the obvious one.
Yeah, but I'm sure.
Anyways,
but also the pawns one that contains the R slur, and pawns do not move like that. Moves the pawn all the way to toilet, drops it in, checkmate. That one could be Sky, considering the chessboard looks more fucked up than. God damn it.
I'm the metaphor one guy here. Guy here.
Then you do the metaphor.
Anyway, so as I was saying, irony is very much walk on by. So I find this interesting because it kind of places the entire book in a new way. Because, well, I mean, actually, everything about this. Never mind, forget the irony thing. In my opinion, the biggest point of... See, there's too much shit going through my mind right now. And I have to use this defective pharmacosive language to try and explain it. Okay, let's get to what's really important. Let's get to what we were bullshitting about before we actually hit record. Pharmacose. What's your opinion about the pharmacose?
I still don't fully understand it, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's...
I'll be honest when I say I still don't completely understand what the fuck Derek is talking about during the long cat speech.
Okay, you know what? Let's simplify. Should we talk? Let's talk about the long cat speech.
All right, so let's talk about long cat.
I love the long cat speech so much.
Same.
We need to come up with a non-problematic equivalent for this word, but it's one of my favorite normie filters.
Absolutely. Real filters? No.
Well, there's this manga called Aquila the Purple, where there's like a very there's like a warning that just says, "This is the point of no return. You've been warned."
That's good.
But I don't want to call it like a warning section. But it's like it's one of the most infamous segments in Homestuck fan fiction, in my opinion. Of just this moment where all of a sudden, bam, you are hit with something that is so out of place and so jack-offy that you can see it being the foundation for what would eventually be beyond canon and epilogue Dirk.
Yeah. Like,
and we'll get to that later, don't you worry. Because to me, the interesting thing about the most interesting thing about Detective Pony is its interpretation of Derrida's interpretation of Plato.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I've mentioned Derrida before in this pod, and I like Derrida just fine. I didn't reread Plato's Pharmacy, or even I didn't even reread any Plato for this because I was just we were really rushing this one.
Well, yeah, we honestly were.
Like, Some girl just finished watching it.
Yeah.
So because we had to get everything done today, because I have like a test on Monday and I'm busy and
I have a D&D thing tomorrow when recording this.
yeah. So we're a little bit busy right now, but we were able to get it done.
Yeah.
So this might not be the most concise. Anyways, but yeah. So basically, the way that I interpret the long cat speech, it's It's Dirk's basic explanation of the destroying power of words.
Yeah.
Basically, the idea of the pharmakos is that it is a cure. It is a cure for something while also being a poison, and those two aspects of the word. Wait, sorry, 1 second. The two aspects. You don't hear it, but I added in the Vine boom sound effect.
All right, cool.
Aspects of that word play at the same time, so they mean the same thing at all times. And within Plato's text, the pharmakon is referenced a lot, where in an English translation it would just either be the cure or the poison. And in particular, when Plato is talking about true statements, and for Plato, very very Greek thing, it's like we want to like limit the amount of lies that enter our brain. If we're functional creatures, we want to be thinking as many true things as possible, and we don't want to be thinking false things. This is why we ask for sources for things. This is why we study in the first place and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, Plato says, and this is the line that he quotes, I think it's from Republic, where he says that, like, of course, sometimes if a lie could be beneficial, it could help you. It could, if telling your friend a lie about something, whether it's something small or something larger, that would help them, then that lie could then be a good thing, even if lying in general is typically seen as bad. It could be a cure for something bad, he says, which in the Greek, I don't speak Greek, but cure is then pharmakos. So how does this get us to the written word? Well, we have ideas in our head.
True. Yes.
We have ideas. And here's the thing. I'm actually going to go a step farther than Dirk does. And here, he only really mentions this for a line. His main beef is with the written word. Well, I'm not sure if that's Dirk's beef or Homestuck's beef. But then again, Homestuck is an author, so well, whatever. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyways, Dirk talks about how the written word naturally is a reduction of the ideas in our head, because we are taking the idea in our head is the most pure version of this thought, and stuff like that. And this connects to Plato's idea of forms, where every single object has the ideal perfect representation of itself.
So there's a perfect ideal version of a cat, let's say.
Yeah, that's
using the literal example that's in the comic.
Yes, exactly. And they come from he refers to it as a god cat. That's not really how Plato would think about it, but you gotta respect the hustle.
You gotta
respect the hustle. I'm getting hot. Give me a moment. All this philosophy got me sweating.
Ishmael is currently sweating.
I'm sweating, and I am now hoodieless. This is officially a tits out kind of podcast.
Come see Ishmael's they titties.
That's good. This is not fucking. That's staying in. Why not? Anyways, with Plato's idea of the forms, there is the ideal perfect representation of an object. Even concepts like there is an ideal form of love.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yep. He has an entire dialogue just about that, actually.
They're an ideal way of thinking. Then
it's not necessarily an ideal way of thinking. It's the ideal form of love. It's not we're thinking about it incorrectly. It's that, in fact, most of us will actually. I don't think any of us, unless we become the philosopher kings of the Republic, or we become gods ourselves, will ever be able to truly know what a real ideal form looks like. It's just that within the realm of the forms, not in the realm of ideas or in the fit, you can't like find these in real life.
What do you mean?
You can't find in a deep dark cave the ideal form of the color blue. That doesn't exist. They exist within their own realm, separate from the realm of thoughts in our head and the physical realm.
I see.
So and this influences the way that we think through magic, basically. And Plato Scholar's gonna kick my fucking ass.
So then, is there also an ideal form of fictional things? Is there an ideal dragon?
Yes.
When there
is
when there is no actual dragon.
Yes, this is another very you are. We like to call you in the teaching business a good concrete layer. You are adding to the path. You're adding to a good path of thought.
Hold on, hit that trigger on your Xbox control. Yep, just hit the assist, popped up the enemy. Go for the combo.
I about to say, you are the combo starter to my to my Evo run. Anyways, getting back to it. Yes, because any fictional character is made up of things within either the realm of thoughts, and everything in the realm of thoughts must necessarily have a form, and everything in the physical world, which also must necessarily have a form as well. So a unicorn is necessarily made up of horse and horn
and magic.
And magic. And of course, the various other things that are within it.
So, okay.
Again, I am not a Plato scholar. I really don't know Plato too well, but I am, they teach us a lot. I've read Republic. I've read Symposium. Like, I've read Parmenides, even though I can't pronounce it properly. So I've read a lot of Plato. And of course, Apology and Euthyphro. The ones you have to read. And Zeno. I forgot I read Zeno. Anyways, sorry. Enough me tooting my own dick.
Just one more thing.
No, we can keep on going until you understand.
Okay, not in the Columbo way. This is like somewhat of a legitimate question. Mm-hmm. I'm not about to own you.
Oh, you're gonna ask the Diogenes question?
I'm not gonna ask, is there an ideal form of emptiness? I'm gonna ask, is there an ideal form? So let's just say I hold out my hand.
Mm-hmm.
There's obviously an ideal form of a human hand, but is there an ideal form of my human hand?
The some girl hand
is the some girl hand.
The some girl. No, there is an ideal.
AKA paw. Is there an ideal
AKA
form?
hoof.
Is there an ideal?
Hey, bro, hoof.
Oh yeah. Is there an ideal form of my hoof or paw or hand?
Yes, there
that's
is.
right. I might or wing. There we go. Covered all of them.
Tentacle.
Or tentacle or fin. There we go. Covered all of them.
Covered all of them. Yeah, there we go. We're good. Yes. It just exists within the subcategory of hand in general. The general form hand.
But what's the difference? But what's the difference between the ideal form of my hand from my hand? They're both. There's only one of my hand. Bad example. There's only one.
Let's just say you're a left hand for right now.
There's only one prime example. God damn it, that was good. There's only one prime example of my left hand. There cannot be another of my left hand.
Exactly, but your left hand has like a form that is more true than your physical form.
So my true left hand?
Yeah, there's like a more pure left. Well, actually, it gets a little bit difficult when you get into like personal thing. Okay, I am so scared that some Plato scholar is about to own me in the comments.
About to stream snipe you in the comments.
I'm about to get stream sniped in the comments. By some Plato scholar who's going to... Actually, no, I shouldn't be scared of you. If you are the Plato scholar in the comments that's seething mad right now, please correct me. Philosophy can only be done if you learn. So...
And you're going to learn.
And I'm going to learn. So please correct me if I'm just spewing absolute bullshit. Anyways, back to spewing bullshit.
Back to this liquid shit
Back
podcast.
to this liquid garbage shit content. I'm glad that we agreed that that's what this is called.
That alternate title.
So yeah, so your hand fits into the ideal form of hand. And actually, I might be wrong. I think your hand might just be your hand.
And my hand is just one of the many different forms of an ideal hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And it breaks off from there.
That makes
It's like,
sense.
there's no... Yeah, okay, no, because there's no... As far as I'm concerned, there's no ideal Ishmael. There's the Ishmael that exists within the minds of other people, which I think then could be argued as being the quote-unquote form of Ishmael. That, like... that because then we have a form because that form then exists in the world of thoughts.
Yeah.
And they're not perfect. These not perfect representations. Like, anyone that's ever looked at your left hand has an idea of your left hand in your brain, which is not the ideal form because they probably don't really give too much of shit about your left hand. I'm sorry, sis.
So would that mean that someone who sees me as a guy, would they then have an improper version of some girl?
Well, we all have improper versions of...
Or would any version of me be improper?
Any version of you would be improper because it does not capture the fullness of some girl. It doesn't capture everything about you.
Makes sense.
That's the thing. I'm not 100% sure about how souls fit into this. Again,
Yeah.
I just need to read more. Anyways, getting off from forms to talk about, again, see, this is why that's why so many people say that all of philosophy is just Plato and everyone else is a footnote. Because this guy's deep. This guy is so deep. He's an endless rabbit hole, but I love him for it. Anyway, so to continue on Plato, we have the pure idea of our thoughts. These thoughts aren't necessarily a form, but it fits into a similar idea, where we have this idea of something that we want to express.
Mm-hmm.
And to express anything, we necessarily need to use a tool.
Yeah. Like a medium?
Yeah, like a medium.
Okay, yeah.
And in this case, this medium, it could be music, it could be art, but...
Speech, whatever.
No, that's the idea. That's the one we're talking about here. It's language in general. And language necessarily is a reduction of our ideas. Even if you are the most genius wordsmith, musician, artist, whatever, at least I think this is what it is. Again, Plato scholar. Plato scholar. Ideally, you can post like 1 million comments to each of my things, but if you could just to make a really long comment, that'd be ideal.
Yeah. Also, leave a like.
Yeah, if we reach 50 likes, I will debate. No, I'm just kidding. I will not debate anyone on this channel.
Then we will fly you over. That's right, 50 likes.
50. No, I don't have money for a plane ticket right now.
Neither do I.
So this ideal form of our thought in our head necessarily has to then be reduced through language. And if it's reduced, it can be reduced through speech, or it can be reduced through the written word. Dirk cares about the written word a lot, for obvious reasons, because, he's writing a book.
Yeah.
So you see speech, but if we have to compare speech and the written word, they are clearly very, very separate things.
Yeah.
This conversation we're having right now, you can ask questions, you can interject, I can change my opinion, and stuff like that.
That's only between you and me.
That's only between, you and me. If we were, I don't know, let's say at SawCon, hosting a panel...
There could be someone who would yell up and say, fuck you, Nepeta deserves to be an S tier, and you all know it.
They get swarmed by the crowd.
They get swarmed by the crowd, and they're never seen again, other than their skull, that turns up 10 days later.
Exactly. Fucked up. We do fucked up shit at SawCon. But Crow's always like, oh my god, so funny. That joke's never getting old to me. So speech is very flexible. It can change a lot. I think this is probably why Plato actually Plato was a playwright before he became a philosopher.
No.
That's part one. But also because I think being able to have a conversation is a lot more natural and can be something that changes.
Yeah.
One of the main things that you'll notice about a Plato dialogue is that somebody changes their mind. Typically not Plato.
Which, gee, you wonder why, but...
Yeah, trust me. Read like if anyone's read Detective Pony but has not read anything that Play-Doh
Yeah,
has ever made, that part where they're imitating Play-Doh is
I'll be
too accurate, maybe.
I'll be completely honest. When I first read that, I thought it was a reference to how Homestuck formulates its dialogue, with Maple Hoof not wanting it and just sort of and kicking his.
Sorry, what's Acorn's name?
Who'd I say?
Maple Hoof.
Ooh. Well, I got a horse from Homestuck.
Yeah, you made the deeper reference.
Kicking his name off the page as a reference to the text boxes and the dialogue logs and and the sprite logs if you want to stretch it. However, when you told me about the platonic dialogue and I noticed those funny little numbers and letters in the corner over there, I sort of realized, shit.
Well, maybe you also noticed the part where they said that it's a platonic dialogue.
I just sort of ignore what they say. Look, I don't know. Look, man. I sat through the entire Long Cat speech. You just sort of like hear a few words, and you're just like, I don't completely understand what that means, but I'll just keep on watching. Maybe that's a bad thing. Probably is.
It's difficult stuff. I don't blame you. I don't blame anyone that watched Detective Pony and didn't get it.
I didn't get it, but at least I finished it.
Exactly, yeah. I think you understood the major thing, which is Dirk's kind of
that brings up another point. Are we done with this point? Or?
Oh, no, we didn't even get to the memes yet.
Oh, my bad, sorry.
We didn't even explain what this has to do with memes. So, anyways, so the written word is different in immeasurable ways. I think that the written word is just as good as the spoken word, in my personal opinion.
I agree, but the spoken word will instantly disappear if no one's there to record it. Will it not?
Yes, that's the thing, but that's also what makes spoken word so much more powerful. It has the ability to be much more flexible. It's a much more liquid kind of thing. One second, I'm going to pull up the Dare to quote that is at the end of Detective Pony. Not in the Naked Bee version, but in Sonnet Stuck's original version. This is from Plato's Pharmacy. Holding the pharmacon in one hand, the calamus in the other, Plato mutters as he transcribes the play of formulas. In the enclosed space of the pharmacy, the reverberations of the monologue are immeasurably amplified. The walled-in voice strikes against the rafters. The words come apart. Bits and pieces of sentences are separated. Disarticulated parts begin to circulate through the corridors, become fixed for a round or two, translate each other, become rejoined, bounce off of each other, contradict each other, make trouble, tell on each other, come back like answers, organize their exchanges, protect each other, institute an internal commerence, take themselves for a dialogue, full of meaning, a whole story. Basically what Derrida is saying in all that fancy talk is that speech has the ability to become much more malleable, while a text is firm. What Derrida just wrote is going to be that forever. We might have different interpretations of it, but it's never going to mold and change into completely new words or completely new ideas. It's just going to be us who are changing in relation to the text. This is where Dirk says that we fall. Is that we are reducing something like speech, something that is so fluid and ever morphing, into something that stays firm within its permanence. The written, when a book gets published, it's never going to change. If it's printed out, you can edit shit in archive of your own, thank Christ.
True. You can never change the book, but what if you misinterpret it? Will that then change the book? Is changing the book within your mind changing your personal interpretation of the book? Would that still matter?
That is something that's definitely worth talking about, because the same thing can happen with speech, but you can then ask a question to clarify it. And I think something that Plato could never have anticipated is recorded audio.
Definitely.
On top of that, I don't think Plato could ever consider people who can edit or add author's notes or stuff like that.
Now here's the question. What if you do something like Dirk did then? Change writing over someone else's text. Would that not...
This gets to the juicy shit. See, I want to see how long we've been recording.
How long have we been recording? I want to know.
Oh, so we've been recording for about 24 minutes. We are still on the first real point.
Wait, 24 minutes?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, but it went a little bit. Feels like a little bit longer because we're going over so much shit.
Yeah.
No, that's well written down. One second, I'm just reading through my notes. Anyways, so before we talk about how Plato would think about Dirk and how he would feel about all oh no, I forgot what it's called.
Pharmacons?
No, it's not the pharmacos, it's the
You mean a palimpsest?
yeah, palimpsest.
Gotcha.
Sorry, again, autism makes me pronounce shit wrong.
It's okay. I'm dyslexic.
Well, I'm explaining to them.
Oh, gotcha.
Like I miss say things all the time.
The only reason I know is since I just watched the audio version.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like with that invention, I don't know how Plato would feel about that, about the written word then being altered in a way in the future. He probably wrote about it. I just haven't read it yet. Anyways, sorry. No, we need to get back to memes, like, because this is the thing that I think becomes confusing. So, do you have a basic understanding now of what Plato thinks about the written word and speech?
Somewhat, yeah.
Here, you know what? Explain it to me.
Plato believes that that spoken word is erased as soon as it is done being said, while the written word is far more powerful, being able to persist for all time as long as it doesn't get destroyed.
That's your idea.
Well, fuck.
Plato's the exact opposite.
Oh.
Plato thinks that the written word is more powerful because it's able to disappear through the sturdiness of the written word. The sturdiness of the written word is necessary suppressing of the idea. While while language is still definitely a pharmacon, and takes us down a level of mimesis. I think that's how you pronounce it. Mimesis, yeah. It is still able to be malleable like the ideas in our head, while writing is weaker because it necessarily restricts itself within finished written works. So it can't change in the same way that our ideas can change. This is also what Dirk's getting at within Icon Has Cheeseburgers. Except it's about a completely different aspect of it.
Gotcha.
So the reason Dirk likes Longcat. Here we go, bring it all back around.
Yep.
So the reason Dirk likes Longcat is because Longcat speaks for itself.
Yeah.
It's that Longcat can exist without the pharmacon. It can exist without a need to explain it. It just kind of exists like an idea within our heads, rather than the meme directly asking us something and putting itself within the written world.
Yeah.
I think. So it's like with Longcat, it's able to exist no matter what, and we, as the meme consumer in like 2005, I think, we're able to just appreciate it as existing as an idea within our head, and it doesn't necessarily need to be reduced down anyway. The only real reduction of it is that we're not literally seeing the Longcat in person. We're seeing it on a computer and stuff like that. So now the image is reduced to time. You know, that's what that image, the Longcat image, that original image is never going to change. It can be altered by other people, but then it's different from the original piece, from the God Cat, if you will.
Gotcha. Okay.
The God Cat, though, is the cat within real life. And then the reduction is from the image. Anyways, God, this is really confusing when you talk about it.
Yeah, I felt like I knew what I was talking about when going into this, but, well, that's clearly wrong.
Here's the thing. I still don't feel like I know what I'm talking about. So... no,
shit, you're supposed to be the smart one.
Well, no, that's the exciting thing about something like this. It's challenging. You need to think.
True.
So I'm definitely there's going to be a lecture about this at some point where I will be able to confidently speak about everything and get every reference and stuff like that. Like, I know I missed a bunch of fucking references from books I just haven't read.
Yeah,
Like, there's a direct reference to like a Parade's End, and I haven't read that book. Other references to characters I've just never heard of, poets I'll never read. So it's like, yeah, I'll definitely. I'd love to.
God, sorry.
No, it's fine. I definitely love to make like an annotated version of Detective Pony in the same way people have done with like Ulysses and Gravity's Rainbow and stuff like that. Anyways, so getting back to it, when you add text to a meme, it takes the image of the meme down a peg. And the focus of Kenna has cheeseburgers or I made you a cookies but I eated it is kind of reduced down from just being a funny image, aka a funny idea, to now being placed within this realm. I think he calls it so it'd be the original image, then I think he calls it a third tier mimesis, where the meme now has kind of become bogged down by speech and non-representation, getting farther away from something that is more pure. Now, of course, purity is something that is talked about a lot within the entire work of Detective Pony.
I was about to say, making Pam's argument, and also somewhat Dirk's argument, who's to say that the I Can Has cheeseburger is truly defacing or enhancing the original image? Because to us, the Can I Has cheeseburger, there is an original image of that cat. It's out there somewhere, but the only image that we know is the I Can Has cheeseburger. Is that defamatory or is that enchanting? Would the image have ever actually became as popular as it did if it did not have that extra text?
She's putting on a smart voice.
I am. Which is just Dirk's voice, let's be honest.
So that is the question. And here's the thing. I completely disagree with Dirk. Well, first off, we need to talk about another ironic point. Dirk uses language.
Yeah.
And the written word for the entire thing. But more importantly than that, Dirk uses the written word to talk to everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
The only person that Dirk doesn't like talk to through text is AR.
Yeah. Well, wait, is that even true?
Wait a second.
They sneezed.
Woo!
It was a big one too. But yeah,
before entering the medium, I should say. I guess he also raps against Sawbot and Squarewave.
True. Does he ever talk to Squarewaves though? He just sort of gives him a thumbs up.
Fair enough.
I'm sure I probably talked to him before that. I mean,
wait, does he talk to AR or is it written out?
It was always written out. Shit, you know what? Go to your Homestuck collection really quick and just go to a conversation.
Thank you, unofficial Homestuck archive.
Unofficially, not even sponsored. Fuck it, I just really like that.
Sponsored?
No, not
No, Homestuck has money.
True.
We've got to have money.
If it says chat log or dialogue log, then we'll find out whether or not they're speaking or typing.
Okay. Place your bets now. Okay.
Where is Ish going in the Homestuck narrative?
Okay, let's see. Put you on Spear Crab. It would be like.
Oh,
Okay, let's see. So
just go way back in Trickster, because before all of Trickster mode, I mean,
no, wait, doesn't he have the dialogue during Trickster mode?
No.
Oh no, he has it way before. Okay, sorry. I went to Trickster mode because I thought he had the speech in the middle of Trickster mode.
No, he has it right before Jane begins all of this.
Oh, girl.
God. You there, girl? Poor Jane. Poor Jane.
Poor Jane.
Poor Jane. Aw.
Okay, so
Union Jack. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Wait,
Flex.
okay. So
yeah, flex my muscles. Okay.
Okay. Wait. Hold on. Go down. It is a pester log.
Wait, no, he's talking. Yeah. No, so it is a pester log. So for all we know, Dirk hasn't said a single word to anyone before
entering the medium.
Other than Square Wave.
Other than, the rap that he does with Square Wave. And assumedly talking to himself while he's working with the Sylladex.
Yeah. Which is something that he does need to do. Fun fact, Dirk has the coolest Sylladex in the entire series. Facts. Meaning that during all of SU Reunite and Synchronize, he was technically rapping to, exit items and stuff.
Exactly. I'm scared not to exist. Aren't you?
You?
Fine. I'll keep my promise. So now I'm just reading Homestuck again.
Yeah.
Anyways, so getting back to... Wait, what were we talking about? Yeah, so anyway, so Dirk necessarily has lived a life of mimesis. Or maybe Dirk is considering his thoughts, the thoughts that we never get to see, even though we are literally these characters within Homestuck. Dirk considers that this is just like his very interactions with his friends, the people that probably keep him from going insane, and some of the people that do make him go insane. I'm looking at you, AR, and Jake.
God, Jake and his stupid, beautiful ass.
I like that they make a very explicit point that Jake has a nice ass.
Well, then why else would everyone want to get after his butt?
Exactly.
And possibly ruin a session? Save a session? It's Homestuck. Practically every action that anyone does in Homestuck or Spurb both ruins and saves a universe.
Exactly. But yeah, so with Dirk necessarily has lived his life in this kind of reduced way, and it's curious to see if that's how he views his friends, because as in the final freakout, that's kind of what Betancourt accuses Dirk of doing. He accuses him of being a manipulator.
True.
Of someone, well, of course, this is himself accusing himself
of this.
Exactly, which we'll get to. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
So I find it so interesting because clearly Dirk is a manipulator within the story.
Yeah.
Of course, he arguably has the help of AR to kind of guide him along that path.
Yeah. Even though AR is just himself. However, his brain being overclocked by a supercomputer probably doesn't help for that.
Exactly. So I always found that one of the more interesting parts of Detective Pony, because don't get me wrong, Derrida made this claim, Plato made this claim. Hundreds of writers have talked about how the written word is kind of bullshit. Kind of reminds me of piano player culture. Where every piano player is super, at a high enough level, is super jealous of pretty much any other instrument because its ability to sustain a note. I can play a C on my clarinet, and I can play a C on my piano. And the clarinet is so much more expressive and dynamic. I can make it crescendo, I can make it decrescendo, I can make it pop, I can make it boo. I can scoop into it, I can scoop out of it. I can play it up an octave, I can play it down an octave. There is so many, and don't get me wrong, you play up an octave and down an octave on a piano, and if you have pitch control, or a volume pedal, you could do it on a piano, but it doesn't have the same effect as on clarinet, where it's an instrument that feels like it was made for that. You could portamento into it. There's so many options within, I'll get us away from the metaphor. There's so many options within speech for how you're going to approach something, and more importantly, how you can manipulate something or change something through, I shouldn't say manipulate, not for this part at least, how you can change something while talking, and how you can mold it in a way that will make it infinitely more lively than the written word. Though with the written word, you have the ability to have much more firm control and have that last longer.
Yeah.
So Dirk understands this in some way, I think. Not only as an author, someone who writes, very obviously he writes a lot, but also as someone whose only way of communication with people is through this not as fluid way. And this might have something to do with the fact that he's so socially awkward,
the fact that he views his relationships with people as being a reduction.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who, for all we know, he might not have hover-handed Jake if he was able to properly talk to him instead of text him.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, I just find that really interesting. Probably no more Play-Doh talk for the rest of this.
Gotcha. Well, one thing that I was wondering about is, does Dirk know he's a fictional character? Now, I know that's sort of a loaded question. I think Epilogue Dirk might, but I don't think this Dirk would. The main question is that we both know that Dirk is writing this and is not actually having the meta textual thing being taken away, because
well, literally, Betancourt says, like,
Betancourt does indeed say this.
like as you lose more meta power, you gain more power as an author, to the point that you completely erase Detective Pony.
Exactly.
You know, literally, the ending is about, like, should we get rid of Dirk's biggest mark on Detective Pony, which is literally the addition of pages in the final freakout.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that's so interesting, because I don't know if Dirk views himself as a fictional character within Homestuck. I don't think any character in Homestuck is aware that Homestuck is a story, except maybe Fail Timeline, Calliope, and Ultimate Dirk.
Also probably Doc Scratch.
Oh, yeah, Doc Scratch. Actually, yeah, Doc Scratch absolutely knows.
But at the same time,
Doc Scratch has to know. He has infinite knowledge.
yeah. But, I mean, at the same time of that, Dirk gets absorbed into... Oh, crap. What's her goddamn name? Why can't I never remember people's names?
Anna,
Anna?
the main girl?
Yeah, main girl.
Yeah.
Because he views himself as a fictional character, but both also because he wrote himself as a fictional character. Character Dirk does not know if Operation Palimpsest is or is not what it means. But author Dirk does. Are they connected, or is author Dirk writing him as he would write himself, or as how he views himself, or all of the above? I don't actually know any of the answers to this goddamn question. That's why I'm asking them as a legitimate question.
No, that's a good question. Again, I don't have the answers. When I do my lecture, I will.
Gotcha. Here's another thing I was wondering. What if a lot of this is actually a conversation between him and AR in some way?
That is a good question.
Of what if... Because mainly due to the... Oh, crap. I can't remember the exact words, but it's a conversation near the end of the book between him and Betancourt. Of whether or not... Of if he should just destroy this and how he needs to take responsibility for destroying this and what happens after he destroys this, which sort of resonated with the whole about to break AR scene.
Yeah, Dirk, responsibility in Dirk, again, that's something I feel like I just need to spend more time with Homestuck. Like, this is just rereading Detective Pony today has really made me want to just reread Homestuck. Yeah, one's 200 pages, the other is 8,000, so.
Yeah.
But.
Also, one of them is in Homestuck, which is a bit weird.
Exactly. Fuck, that's a really tough question. I don't think it's Dirk talking to AR, but I think Dirk definitely has a lot of comfort with talking to himself. You know, Dirk... But actually, no, never mind. I think Dirk actually... He likes talking to himself, but not the splinters of himself.
Definitely true.
I think Dirk absolutely hates the splinters.
Yeah. Definitely.
I don't know. I think Dirk... That's always something interesting, because I'm not going to come at this from somebody that has written written metafiction, as to quote Gregor Ligeti, I've written it for the drawer, for no one to see except me.
Yeah. I don't Shit, that's a good idea. But I don't think that's what's happening here.
By the way, when
necessarily.
Ligety said it was for the drawer, it was a reference to his piano etudes, which he thought was never going to be composed because communist Hungary was not going to let him do weird avant-garde shit. Sad.
Sad.
Horribly sad. But thank goodness they did get composed did get performed in this lifetime because they are awesome.
Yeah, but I don't think that's obviously not what's happening here. Dirk is specifically doing this for Jane. But here's another question. Is this the actual version that got sent to Jane? We only ever see the first couple pages with Jane's copy. What if this is some kind of first draft, in a sense?
Is this getting into our fan theory about Beyond Canon?
About how in Beyond Canon, John's going to retcon Detective Pony at some point. Didn't Trezzy read Detective Pony in Beyond Canon?
About to say, can we skip to this?
Skip to... Yeah, sure.
Because I want to skip to the Beyond Canon stuff. I will say this. I don't know if, like... Because I think Dirk definitely... He says he viewed himself as a fictional character because it's easier. I think Dirk, which I think is then Dirk finding comfort within the Pharmacos, even though he seems to have quite a despise for it and an admiration for more pure ideas. I think Dirk definitely loves the reduction of it because he finds it more simple.
Definitely.
Than real life. I mean, look at how he handles real life. He hover hands his fucking boyfriend. Jesus Christ.
But here's the thing. He's not wrong with his assumption. He is technically a fictional character. Is it a reduction of a reduction?
Well, I guess this then gets into the God talk. Never mind. Yeah, we'll talk about Beyond Canon a little bit. Let's talk about the final monologue.
Yeah.
Arguably, the entire book is a monologue. But you know the one I'm talking about. The one where we're talking about Adam reaching for a leaf.
Yeah.
So, when he's talking about... I think he's talking... First off, Anna is the breath.
What?
Well, he's talking about... I forget exactly what the line is. But he's talking about God. And, God said, let there be light, and it was. And therefore, God is then using speech to be able to bring about the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And who was it? It's either John or Paul, and I forget which one it is, but I think it's Paul. Yeah, 1 second. Checking my work. Yeah, here we go. An nymph went in a poisonous spring. Pharmaca was a friend of Greek name I can't pronounce, who later became the goddess of the cold mountain winds. Here is our Anna. Wind, breath, speech, creation.
Huh.
So, breath, vine boom sound effect. Here we go. Here's the line. The Judeo-Christian God bestowed life onto man by breathing into his nostrils the breath of life. But even before this, it was his speech that created everything. God said, let there be light, and there was light. God's speech wasn't just incidental, a transmission of the message. No, it was the message itself. Only man's rough lips could reduce speech to mimesis. God created with speech, and there's the secret. His first creation, before creation, was speech. Gospel of John, it wasn't Paul. Shit. Okay, so...
I mean, hey, John, breath. I mean, that's something.
Anyways, so I like this section a lot. Because I like talking about God. Necessarily, I think this is a very out there section.
Yeah.
On purpose. He literally talks about how it was out there. He just said he felt clever while writing it. But I think we can look at purposefully clever and obnoxious things and try and take it seriously. So I think with this section, Dirk's basically calling himself a god.
In the form of the text, at one point he was technically a god who was usurped. Blah 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 blah. I am smart.
I love your smart girl voice so much.
Well, thank you, but it's just Dirk. It's just Dirk, but toned down. I should really fucking practice voice training. God damn it. Keep that part in, and like increase the brightness of the trans flag when you do it.
Yeah, I need to practice voice training, and it just your image just goes. Anyways, take a sip. 1 second. Water break. Stay hydrated.
Good water.
And so I think Dirk necessarily views himself as God within this section, as a lesser god, a lowercase g god, as he says, but necessarily somebody that is using speech for creation. Literally, he talks about how Anna, Pam, and well, depending on your interpretation, either Lulu or
Indiana.
the town of Pawnee, Indiana. That Betancourt necessarily is also a god. Literally, Dirk, Betancourt, and Midos are all gods.
Minos?
Did I say Midos?
Yeah.
Sorry, Minos.
They are technically, yes, all gods. But not in the traditional sense. Fuck, isn't Acorn technically also a god? I mean, fuck, he has godlike powers, right?
Acorn has godlike powers, but is not necessarily a god, because a god necessarily creates.
True. While Acorn much more
In the
destroys.
Judeo-Christian sense, even though this book references Greek mythology a fuck ton.
True. So, yeah, this definitely makes it complicated. Would this mean all the girls are gods too? Probably not.
This means Anne is in somewhat... Well, Anne isn't necessarily... And, well, literally, at the end of the story, they're talking about finding the tree of knowledge and the tree of good and evil. Like,
yeah, so one of them.
sorry, the fruit of good and evil and the fruit of knowledge.
Yeah.
From the tree of life.
So that Pawnee can be the new ape that can be... What was it?
The new ape that resands the world.
God, that Dirk influence really is coming through, huh?
Like, that, first off, that line owns. Second
That
off...
line does own.
I'm just adding in silence so I can do the Tim Rogers shot.
Oh,
Tim
okay.
Rogers oof sound.
Oh, that does... All right, that makes sense. Bingo.
Bingo. So necessarily, but like that section, he's talking about like, you know, how God used speech to be able to create the world, and that human beings necessarily have a weaker form because we did not eat of both the tree of life and the tree of good and the fruit of life and the fruit of good and evil. Fruit of knowledge of good and evil. God. Never mind. I'm no longer allowed to talk for the rest of the podcast.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Shit.
I'm kidding. Sorry. It's been a long day. I'm tired, and
I also sort of had a headache.
yeah.
I'm sort of eyeing up one of your points there, though. I'm sort of eyeing up is the lesbian baiting on purpose?
We'll get to the lesbians later when we talk about Beyond Canon. Anyways, sorry. I think Dirk necessarily views himself as a god in some way, but I don't think Dirk likes God.
Oh, what would make you think that Dirk doesn't like God?
Well, I guess let's skip to epilogue and Beyond Canon.
All right, add the title card. God, when we do the lecture, I need to make a Tavros doll and a Piplup and get a Piplup doll so I can do that goddamn intro. That's the thing. How the fuck am I gonna make a Tavros doll? Like, look at it. Look at my lips. Look at the Tavros doll. You cannot. There's one of those. I cannot create another one of those.
See the Tavros doll. It is cold and dark.
I even heard someone once say it was a juju. Literally, there is only one of it. I cannot create another one. I need to get that one.
Okay, I refused it. Somebody has to have a how do you make your own tinfoil Tavros doll tutorial.
Oh, shit. Now I have to find out. I mean, maybe. Still, I've only ever seen the one picture of it. There's no multiple pictures. There's no picture of someone saying, hey, look at me. I made my own damn cursed Tavros doll. No,
Why are you doing the same voice that John Boyce does talk about the guy that worked out like 5 times in 2... worked out 10 times in 2 weeks. Hey, y'all, I just...
No, because there is only one cursed Tavros doll. It has the fucking soul of Lord English inside of it, and you can't prove me wrong since there's only one. It's buried somewhere, probably.
Speaking of Lord English.
Oh, shit. What about him?
Epilogue and Beyond Canon. So very clearly, Sonnet Stuck's Dirk is an inspiration for Epilogue. Actually, reading Epilogue before reading Detective Pony was a major mistake on my part.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, why is Dirk like this? This is so weird. And then I was like, oh, wait, no, this makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Like, no, this is exactly how this guy would talk. But it's interesting because it's like becoming Ultimate Dirk kind of like made it so that he no longer learned his lesson.
Is a bit weird, yeah. But in the same sense, it's kind of makes sense. I mean,
to be fair, I've never had all of my splinters condense into me at once.
I mean, his Durst version. Oh wait, shit. His original version, I should say, never really did change, and fuck, his AR had a completely different arc. And isn't Ghost Brain Dirk still alive?
Ghost Brain Dirk is still alive within Jake's head.
Well, isn't that one of his splinters though?
You'd think, but I think it's literally Jake having honest to God psychosis.
That would make sense considering.
Friendly reminder: Beyond Canon, after we have our fun Dirk Terezi bullshit, starts with Jake waking up drunk as fuck.
That adds up. God, poor Jake. Jake deserved this the least.
Wait
of
one second.
all.
Let me show you. I just
Ishmael
want to pull up something.
Neon Cannon.
Neon Canon.
That's God. No one's actually no. Someone should definitely steal that for a goddamn alternate Homestuck thing. Oh, you can't forward.
You can't use arrow keys on Homestuck Squared.
Can't you just use the map?
Yeah, I'm gonna use map. Oh man, this site's slow as fuck too. Wow. This
Oh god, this site's destroying your computer right now.
Oh my god. I just want to show you something funny. Wow. If you could see with my eyes what my computer is going through right now, it's crying.
Yeah, your computer's dead ass. I wonder why. So it's like you have like 2 trillion fucking tabs open.
Oh yeah, and the other one.
And the other one. And the other one.
And the tiger poster.
Oh shit, there's another.
That's going in the opening now. And no, everyone knows about the tiger poster.
Oh, that is true. Everyone does know about.
Everyone knows about because everyone was like, every American. I know for sure every American had to deal with the tiger poster. The tiger poster and Shirley Temple. That shit's glued like forever embedded in the brain. Oh, I'm not gonna show you the thing. Whatever.
In my soup.
Yeah, those things are the sleeper agent shit. You just go up to like somebody who's like, I don't know, like 17 to like 23, and you just go, animal crackers in my soup, and they're going to kill the closest person to them. So you better use a megaphone and say that in a public area so you're not close. Anyways, getting to what I was trying to say. So clearly Epilogue and Beyond Canon is very much inspired by Homestuck's Dirk.
Yeah.
Just one that hasn't learned his lesson yet and thinks that the most important thing in the world is restarting Homestuck.
For some reason. I haven't read Epilogue, so to be fair, it's not like I would know.
We'll do an epilogue read. We'll do an epilogue video at some point.
Yeah.
Anyway, so here's the thing. Terezi has read Detective Pony.
True.
I don't know how, but she has, because in Beyond Canon, she's like, oh, lolcat. That's my Terezi, by the way. It's like, oh, lolcat. Like, do you remember lolcat, Dirk? And Dirk's like, God fucking damn it.
Shut the hell up.
God damn it, Terezi. I can't stand you. I should have left your ass years ago, but the pussy game's ridiculous.
Shut up. Okay. Yeah.
Which led to me having this theory. I was like, okay, so in this...
No, keep going. I'm just...
It was on the mug, too. Like,
the pussy game's ridiculous.
I pulled up that image just so we can laugh at it.
Well, you'll let it in, right?
Yeah. Anyways, so it led to me having like this very silly fan theory that Dirk hasn't actually finished writing Detective Pony yet.
Oh, I remember this theory. It's the theory that in the end of Beyond Canon, that's when Dirk finishes Detective Pony. And that's how he, quote, learns his arc. This actually brings up to another point that I've sort of realized. How, oh crap, who's main girl again? What's her name?
Anna.
How Anna represents Dirk in a certain way, and how the two other ones may represent Rose and Terezi in some sense. which might work out pretty well.
One's an alcoholic.
One's an alcohol. It might represent something else. I was thinking of how it represents the beta kids, and how Jane just sort of got left out there. Obviously, the one who drinks all the fucking time is Roxy, and
Yeah, clearly.
yeah, bullshit. And I don't really know what the other one is.
Jake, then?
Jake, I suppose. Anyways, anyone could notice when it pointed out to them how she has a serious problem is not so subtly a reference to Roxy, especially when it gets blown up. You kept on saying that shit, but it's not goddamn funny. She had a serious problem, Dirk.
And we just had to watch.
Which,
that's the line where I'm like, oh,
yeah,
my
like,
God.
oh, fuck. What kind of shitty friend wouldn't help her? Pretty shitty friends, that's who. That's just Dirk literally beating himself up.
That's the thing, because as someone that's made a lot of meta bullshit, again, like a page, like I've never made anything on the level that Homestuck did. The best metafiction, or at the very least the kind that I had the most satisfaction writing, was one part me, like one part like an exploration in my psyche, and another part curb stomp, like. It's like the fiction, like, the fiction rejects the author. Why? Because you're a fucking piece of shit. Like,
I do love that trope, to be fair. That's a good.
I love it too.
Trope.
I love it. It's just like,
fuck
some
you,
people don't.
author. You're such a piece of shit that you die in the media. I wonder what else does that. Homestuck.
Exactly. No, it's just like one of those things where I'm like, I really shouldn't like this. Because I'm like, oh my God. Because I'm like, it's so pretentious.
Yeah.
I'm such a pretentious fucking guy, but at the same time, I love it. I love it so much. Like, I love just beating the shit out of yourself because you hate yourself. It's like there's just something so cathartic about that in writing.
Yeah.
I just love that. And I feel like we've scratched nothing about Detective Pony.
Really, we've scratched something. But we scratched about the same amount that we scratched off a lottery ticket, which is a small layer. Sure, it reveals some things, but we have to scratch a bit farther to see the actual numbers of this.
I got like $1.
Oh, fuck. I got 0.
Yeah, it's like I just think about Detective Pony every now and then. And I'm like, fuck me, I don't understand anything. And that's exciting. It's the same thing I feel about Homestuck. And honestly, I remember saying in the first episode, it was like, oh, where's like the deep philosophical thinkers in Homestuck? They're there. They were there way before me. And they were way better than me. See, like exactly like the thing I said was like, oh, somebody has to have already done this and just been way better. I just can't find them. I checked. I finally started reading through Homestuck's Tumblr today. Oh my God. I know nothing about Homestuck. Oh my God. I am such an idiot. Like,
I would love to do like an on-stream read at some point of all of Homestuck, all of Epilogue, and all of Beyond Canon. I know we've talked about doing this, but we've also agreed that this is somewhat somewhat chaotic and insane to do.
Somewhat psionic.
Psionic. Get it like Solix. Funny reference, right?
No, I wanted to do like a, in the same way that Philosophy Tube did a the complete plays of William Shakespeare for charity thing. And
yeah.
Famously, Harrington Splimby did a 100% Donkey Kong 64 for charity. Mm-hmm. I want to do that, but for Homestuck, and it lasts like a month.
That's the problem. Homestuck's very long.
Wait, okay, no, sorry. Wait, I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking.
So, okay, how long realistically would it take to read all? Let's just start simple. All of Homestuck, just Homestuck.
Okay.
Not including Epilogue or Beyond Canon.
God, okay, it's so... I don't know. I really don't know. Like, because here's the thing. I'm a pretty fast reader. Actually, no, I'm like an average reader. I'm not that fast. And I've blasted through... Like, I can read basically about 100 pages of Homestuck per hour.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Some flashes take an hour. Like, some of the wandering sections just take an hour.
Oh, I didn't even think about Oh, God. Yeah, I didn't even think about the wandering sections and that shit.
Especially the one with Cankry in it. If we're going to read all that shit.
Do we really have to read all of that?
Well, the stuff that we can read, not when it gets super tiny in text and shit, but...
True. Will we also need to get the Demera translation, or will you refuse to read the Demera?
I will refuse to read that shit. Hey, let's have a character that has an actual race within Homestuck and make it a racist stereotype.
Yeah.
Wee.
Fuck it. Should we save that for another podcast, or should we just...
Oh, we're saving that for another podcast.
Gotcha. You know what? For all of her text, we will get a text-to-speech translator for it. The shittiest one I can find.
No, for you, the last podcast episode will be the Dancester one, and we will die instantly afterwards when we talk about how we really feel about Cronus.
It makes some enemies.
Oh yeah, no.
But
if we wanted to make enemy, like here's the thing: if we wanted to start beef and really get this podcast blowing up,
gotta start beefing about Dancestors.
yeah,
Damn.
we'll start that famous dance. Actually, no. If we talk shit about Cronus, Crow won't let us have a panel at Sawcock.
Gotcha. You're right. Cut this out.
Cut this out.
Cut this out, future-ish.
So, I don't know. I feel like we've said nothing but everything that we can say about Detective Pony right now.
Currently, yeah. Probably next episode. Next episode, by proxy, one of us will re-listen or reread, or fuck, maybe I'll first read Detective Pony again, and then we'll have to talk about it again, just since we're like, oh, I understand the Pharmacos now, or something like that.
That's the thing about philosophy that I love. And I do think that Detective Pony is a work of philosophy.
Definitely.
As you get older and experience more things, you learn more and you're able to come back to the work and appreciate it more. Like even only after a couple of months after I really me before reading Play-Doh, I thought Homestuck's Detective Pony was good. After reading Play-Doh, I think it's the best Homestuck fan fiction.
Damn. What was the best before?
There was fan fiction. And it was Dave is like he's going to college, right?
Uh-huh.
And bro's like, I have to go to Taiwan. I have to go to Thailand. You're gone. Like, I'm going to leave. You better find a roommate.
All right.
And Dave's like, no! Oh, fuck. Okay, I'm going to put it... Actually, I don't care. I'm going to put a listing on Craigslist. Need roommate. And then... Actually, sorry. Before that, there's an email. And it's like, hello, are you... He doesn't lisp in the email. Why would he lisp in the email? It's like,
that's his typing work.
He's like, hello, I am Solix Captor. And Jay's like, that's a weird name.
Also, a weird way of typing. How is he lisping on an email?
So he's like, oh, weird. Okay, then he comes and he's like, hello, me, Solix Captor. And Dave's like, well, come on in. And he's like, shit. Like he's in chapter 1, he's already like, oh my god, he's kind of cute. And like 5 chapters later, he's like, I need it.
I'm gonna suck your 2 dicks. Is it Homestuck?
It's Homestuck.
I'm gonna suck your 2 dicks.
Yep, still counts.
Humans can have 2 dicks.
They can.
I've checked.
No, that one was just my. No, the actual thing would be something written by Joanna Riley.
Well, wasn't there that one?
She's the queen.
Wasn't there that one Dave Cat one where like Carcat jumps off of a pier?
Oh my god! No, that one's not my favorite. It's just that's one of those that one just has my favorite smut scenes out of any of the.
Yeah, I was about to say when you did describe that to me, I distinctly remember you describing the one scene of Dave does that thing where you come so hard you can't feel your right leg, a thing that I have never actually experienced and don't wish to.
Wait, did I say that or did you say that?
You said that.
Oh man.
Or perhaps I said that.
Okay, editorial stance. If I can find some alien boy that makes me come so hard I can't feel my right leg, you're never hearing from me again. I'm gone. I'm disappearing.
Just disappearing right into that butthole.
I'm sorry. If I can find that alien boy that like makes me look like makes me look like a model somebody just spawned in Gmod after I come. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go Blue Skidoo Weekend 2 right in there. I like that I apologize. That's my favorite part of doing it.
I still didn't like Dave like eat some supper pie and it makes humans horny. But this is not human. This was not Homestuck.
This was not Homestuck, no, because like Yeah, because Gamzee actually came from an alien planet. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it was
no,
like,
and like it was
yo.
like oh yeah, I can't wait to relax with some super. That's my car cat. And
Ayo.
Dave's like car cat,
Car
car cat,
Car cat.
car cat. You don't understand. Like
The pussy. You don't understand, car cat. Your pussy game be off the charts. That's how Dave would say it.
and then actually that one has a very I like the ending of that one a lot. Just a lot of edge, and if I'm in the mood, I like my edge.
Obviously.
I haven't read too much. I've read I've read the hits.
Yeah. I have not. Well, I've read the hit webcomics. You've read the hit fanfiction.
Exactly. Yeah. I should read more.
Except for I
fanfictions.
haven't read Vast Air yet.
Except you haven't read Vast Air, Double Dick of the Author. Wait, it's not called Double Dick of the Author. It's called Double Death.
of the Author.
I'm so
We're not allowed
to
to
the
make-
person that wrote Double
Death.
Death of the Author. I read about 100 pages of it. It's really strong. It's really good. I
Yeah.
only refer to it as Double Dick of the Author.
We're
I'm
sorry.
so sorry.
We're very sorry.
I'm so sorry. You're a really good writer. You're a really good artist, but
Yeah.
it's Double Dick of the Author to me.
Forever.
But yeah, I was about to say, but I haven't read a lot. Homestuck fan fiction is it's giant. There's
Of
so
course,
much
same-
shit to read.
Same thing with webcomics. By the way, this was recorded on the 12th anniversary of MSFPA. Yay!
I was about to say you were taking me on a little tour of that.
Yeah, it's on the main page right now.
Yeah, but you took me on a tour of it before.
Yeah.
So because
a
I
little insider's information. It's not like you can join the Discord at any time. And
Exactly.
Get on there.
But no, and it was great because you were like, yeah, those guys do. Yeah, those guys, yeah. you were just like, oh yeah, they're good. Like,
Oh God, dude! The day I like my sloppy art style, but the day I emulate like Vast Air or something like that, like I'm able to get to that sort of level. You know damn well I'm making so many spurb and like I have so many spurb ideas and post epilogue and like not epilogue ideas, but like after Earthsea ideas. Let's put it like that. That I would love to emulate and not have to do it in this weird fucked up style that I love and hate. I'm having a revelation about my art style. That's not really meant for this podcast, I don't think. It's meant for therapy, probably. Personal therapy. Therapy where you stand in a dark room with your cat and think about stuff, and then your cat goes, meow.
dreaming things no mortal girl should dream.
Yeah, stuff like that. Probably should have brought it up. That was funny.
No, that's every artist.
Yeah.
Every artist has the, oh Lord, look at how cool their thing is. I wish I could emulate that, but the pussy game's ridiculous.
Pussy games sometimes be ridiculous. I'm currently learning how to draw boobs so I can draw boobs on myself.
Let's go. What's the music equivalent of that? No, sorry, no. I remember I was back when I was dating my ex. Something I would talk about a lot, and she just kind of like wouldn't get. Is what I was talking about. Like, what's not safe for work music?
Jazz. I don't even know why, but it's jazz.
Because like it's like in particular like not safe for work furry art.
Well, okay, wait, hold up.
In particular, diaper not safe for work furry art.
Ones where they're farting or not farting.
Farting, of course.
Okay.
Well,
That would make the fucking world of a difference, just to let you know.
it does. Sometimes a guy just wears a diaper. Sometimes a guy farts in the diaper, though.
What about when he shits in the diaper and makes a big messy mess?
Okay.
And then he sits down and it makes an even bigger mess.
Man, the warning. This podcast
It
contains thing
contains
is going to be on fire. Warning. What's going to be? Play-Doh, furry scat porn,
Furry diaper discussion.
discussions of Christianity, and swearing.
Also, this podcast contains spoilers for Detective Pony.
Anyways, because here's the thing, because I remember a lot of people saying that 100 gex sounded like furry art to them.
I was about to say hyperpop, I guess, but that just sounds so anticlimactic, so boring in a lot of words.
Because let me tell you, when you accidentally find the furry diaper art, you're like, what? Like,
So would it be
you run away. I've heard so few music that makes me want to run away.
Yeah, sure.
But then again,
you run away.
now here's the thing.
I dive in there and try to find some corn. That I don't like.
Oh
this.
my God! I might cut the entire bit just because of what you said.
No! Don't make my
I'm
sins
so-
affect the many. And by many, I mean us. Don't let my one scat joke ruin the many scat jokes.
No, it's just I just remember like being I was like, man, people have such visceral reactions to furries and shit like that.
Yeah.
What could be the musical equivalent? And really 100 gex is the only thing that seems to have like gotten to that level
Yeah.
of just like
I guess.
revile. But then again, I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to say I'm built different, but I've listened to a lot of music and nothing really scares me
exactly.
anymore.
I think the same is for me in some senses. I've never, dude. I grew up. I was born in the farting art. I know that shit. Sure, I'm not necessarily turned on by it. I don't have a scat fetish yet, but I am. Hey man,
the yet hit me 3 seconds later than the rest of the sentence.
look, man. Look. Okay, that's gonna be more of a coming out than me coming out transgender to the. Mom, Dad, I have a scat fetish.
Oh my god! And you.
They would just own me and you just because of the association.
Yeah, no, this whole children thing is wrong. Let's get rid of it. Get one furry, a furry in the family, that's fine. Scat furry in the family, destroying all my children.
Just destroying them.
But
I don't run away at it. I might click off a bit quicker, but I can give me some furry. Send me. Put in my Discord out right now. Send me all the furry scat porn you want. Now, Gore, on the other hand, I get a little bit squeezy at. But, I mean, I feel like since we're both, I don't want to say experts, but we know a lot of our medium, we don't exactly get scared by the oddities of our respective mediums.
That is true. I think we definitely have a little bit of a build-up that, I remember I had this one friend back in high school, and I played him like it was an Emerson, Lake and Palmer song, like just like is very, how do I describe that? Emerson, Lake and Palmer is like sriracha. It's like if you're taking sriracha and you're like whoo, like I'm sorry, we can't hang out, like food wise, we can't hang out food wise. I'm sure you're a lovely person, but
Yeah,
in another way. But if like, you're like a little bit of sriracha and you're like, whoo, that's spicy. It's like, it was like that. And it was like, I think it was Brain Salad Surgery.
Mm-hmm.
That was the album. I forget exactly what song, but it was like the intro had like a scream and it was like, I'll be there, you'll be there, we'll be there. And you're just like, dude, this is too crazy. I can't listen to this.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh, shut the fuck up. Meanwhile, like at that point, I was like finally getting into Merzbow. I was getting into like late era John Coltrane, like all like the hard shit. Talk about like it's drugs. So yeah, I don't know. Any other Homestuck stuff we should talk about? I didn't do any Optimus Duelist stuff. I just got too busy.
How much longer is in? How much time?
How long have we been talking? If it's an hour 30, I'm cool to end. Wait, is it literally just been 50 minutes?
No way.
No way. It's only been 50.
Does talking about Play-Doh really like?
Oh, it's been an hour and 50 minutes.
Oh. Well then, I guess we should say goodbye.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry if this one was a
outside.
little bit more XD random.
Yeah. Sorry.
We're a little bit tired. She has a headache. I'm just out of it like always. Reading for about 3.5 hours kind of does that to you. So
Yeah.
Anyways, a quick question is, I think I've literally edited this out from every podcast, which is really funny. But would anyone be interested in an unedited version of this podcast?
Yeah. We have the idea that like obviously we don't want to just give everyone the pure liquid shit. We want the edited liquid shit, but we've had the idea that a Patreon perhaps where like, a $5.
No, not $5, like $2.
That's much better. That's
$2 a month. You get the full version.
You get the full version of each podcast.
Again, I think we're so small that we really shouldn't be asking for
Yeah,
Patreon shit. I might even edit this out, which would be really funny.
Yeah.
So funny. 5 stars.
5 stars.
But yeah, if anyone's interested in that, I don't know. You're also talking about maybe doing like some reaction stuff.
Yeah,
not like like reaction video or pogging in the lower left hand corner, but like whenever we discuss something, like I was interested in doing an Infinity Train episode.
Yeah.
Like maybe on the Patreon, if you give us like a certain amount a month, it would be like, you could hear our voices reacting along with Tulip doing her bullshit.
Yeah, the maid of mine herself. Yeah. Just to let you know, if we're going to do that, you're going to hear me refer to every single character as their assigned class spec in the Will Homestuck podcast, or from the Will Homestuck podcast, which sucks since since they classified a lot of the characters as Carapacians as well. Like a lot of the denizens are Carapacians. What do you mean? Well, no, it's just some of them don't have class specs, I guess.
No, I never finished the Will at Homestuck for any of the Infinity Train seasons because I was listening to it and I got too hype just thinking about Infinity Train that I would rewatch Infinity Train. So I've never finished them.
Whatever. Maybe I'm getting it wrong. Honestly, it's been a long time since I watched those.
Whatever.
I'm sure we watched
Anyways, yeah. So, if there's a big enough thing where it's like we want all of it, yeah, I don't know, drop a comment or something.
Yeah.
And you know what? I want to give a very special shout out to Kit.
Mm-hmm.
You're just a really nice person. That's all.
That's the person who posted the Is that the person who posted the real Homestuck quadrants make more sense than?
No, that's Lux. No. Kit posts eye emojis every time I post the pod and the server, and
gotcha.
posted 3 comments in the last episode,
Yeah,
all of which were incredibly high quality.
Yeah.
And the class specting comment helped me think about class specting a lot, so thank you for that.
Thank you,
let's
Kit.
end it.
Okay. See you guys.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.